noticed a clicking coming from the drivetrain. Nothing frustrates me more than not knowing the problem. So I went through the usual procedure, checked the chain, I checked the crank, I checked the sprocket, checked everything. I couldn't figure out why it was clicking on until the last thing it could have been was thought of, which was the pedal. So we're gonna do the Crankbrothers Refresh Kit and see how it goes. So I'm sporting the Crankbrothers Mallet downhill. It is a great pedal with a lot of platform for support, but the only problem is if I changed it out, it would cost me $180. So we're gonna fix it. So we're at my workbench, we're working the Crankbrothers Pedal Refresh Kit. It's compatible with egg beater, candy, mallet, 50/50, and any pedals between the years 2010 and the present. Basic unboxing here. Inside there are the instructions and the parts. Make sure your parts are all there before you start working on your pedals. So let's get rid of this box and let's look over the instruction manual. As you can see, the top portion, which is for egg beater 1, 2, 3, and 11, candy 1. The bottom part is for candy 2, 3, 11, mallet 1, 2, 3, and downhill. That's the one we're going to be utilizing. This is the back of the instructions. Same thing, top portion, bottom portion we'll be utilizing. Going to the parts list. We have Crankbrothers service tool. You have 2 end caps, 2 spindle nuts, 4 O-rings, 2 2mm outer bushings, 2 4mm outer bushings, 2 Ingus bearings, which we'll not be utilizing on the mallet downhill, 2 Enduro cartridge bearings, and 2 inner seal, 2 outer seal as well. The tools we need for this repair are going to be a flathead screwdriver, grease, rubber mallet or a hammer, Crankbrothers tool, an 8mm socket, a 6 and 8mm hex wrench, a 25T torque wrench, and a small pick. First, we're going to be using a 6mm hex wrench to take off the end cap. We're going to use the 8mm hex wrench to hold back the spindle, and we're going to use 8mm socket to take off the spindle nut. Now you should be able to remove the spindle from the body of the pedal. And we're going to take a shop rag and clean all grease off of this spindle. Next, we're going to remove both the inner and outer seals. Both of these seals can get discarded. Now in the inside of the body, there are 2 T25 screws that need to be removed. We'll use the wrench to remove those now. And you'll notice on the threads that there is Loctite. So be aware that you're going to reuse these screws and reapply Loctite. Take apart the body and we'll work with the inside of the body first. We'll be using a razor blade, but you can also use a flathead screwdriver to remove this 4mm bushing from the outside of the pedal. Then with a pick, you're going to remove the O-ring. Now let's remove the clip from the outside pedal body. We're going to put that to the side. We're going to use our razor blade to remove the 2mm bushing. Underneath that bushing is going to be another O-ring, and you can use your pick to take it out. So we're going to use a Crankbrothers specialty tool to punch out the bearing with one good hit of the mallet, and there you go. So the only parts that are going to be left are the 2 halves of the pedal body, the clips, and the spindle. Everything else is going to be discarded because the kit has all those extras in there. Let's go ahead and clean the grease out of all the leftover parts. So on the spindle itself, we're going to put the outer seal on first, which is black in color, and then the inner seal is going to go on after that, which is blue in color. The ridges on the seals will face towards the outside of the pedal body. So now we take the new bearing and we're going to place it on the outer portion of the pedal body. We're going to use the Crankbrothers specialty tool to seat the bearings. One hit with the mallet is sufficient. On the outer pedal body, we're going to be placing the O-ring, and then on top of that, we're going to put the 2mm gasket. Once that's seated, we can move on to the inner pedal body, We'll place the new O-ring first, and then on top of that, the 4mm gasket. Pay close attention to the length of the ends on the clip. 4mm on the left, 2mm on the right. The 4mm is going to go on the inside pedal body, and of course the 2mm is going to go on the outside of the pedal body. I'm going to be adding a little Loctite to the T25 bolts and then torquing them down to 6 Newton meters with my T25 wrench. We're going to be applying a good amount of grease to the spindle, and after that we're going to insert it on the inside of the pedal body. Using the 8mm hex wrench to hold back the spindle and the 8mm socket to tighten the spindle nut to 4 Newton meters of torque. Last step to this refresh is putting on the end caps and tightening those down to 3 Newton meters. And that's it. I performed the Crankbrothers Pedal Refresh Kit. Throw it on the bike and take it for a spin. And it's 100% better, complete. Easy fix, no clicking, no popping. It's smooth, nice easy fix for 30 bucks. And that's it. Beat spending another $180 on a pair of pedals. Do me a big favor for this channel since we're just starting off. Like, subscribe, comment below so these algorithms work in my favor and I can get you more content that you hopefully enjoy. I appreciate it. Get out there and ride. See you next time.